Blasphemy now equals terrorism. Pakistan's bold legal move. Pakistan has made a bold legal move by agreeing to try blasphemy suspects under anti terrorism laws, in addition to the existing anti blasphemy laws, which already carry the official penalty of execution. This decision was made in response to pressure from the radical Islamist party Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, or TLP for short, which staged a 25-day long protest march. The agreement also includes lifting the ban on TLP media coverage and dropping political cases against its leaders. However, this move has raised concerns among human rights groups, as blasphemy laws in Pakistan have often been misused to target religious minorities and settle personal scores. The consequences of this decision could further jeopardize the already vulnerable position of religious minorities and non religious individuals in the country. As Amnesty International has warned, the strict anti blasphemy laws have been weaponized against innocent people, leading to tragic incidents like the lynching of a religious leader during a rally last year. So, yes, D is saying Pakistan keeps bowing to Islamists. They get everything they wanted. So, yeah, here's the deal. This is really unfortunate. So, I regret to inform you guys that Pakistan is buckling under pressure from the TLP, which is one of my most hated political parties. Um, Fuck the TLP forever. So here's some more uh information. The Pakistani authorities made these concessions with the far right TLP after the party mounted a 25-day long protest march um, towards the capital. The Islamist party ended their protest after signing a pact with the ruling party. Under the 12-point agreement they signed with the TLP, the Pakistani authorities agreed to arrest those accused of blasphemy under the country's existing anti-terrorism act. The Pakistani government also agreed to lift the ban on the coverage of TLP on broadcast and social media and withdrew all political cases against TLP workers and leaders. Supporters of the TLP are believed to have played a part in the lynching of a Sri Lankan factory manager, Priyantha Kumara, on December 2021. The party also was previously banned by the Pakistani government and declared a militant organization after several confrontations with the authorities. Um, the interior minister said that these were like all legitimate demands from the TLP. He also added that, oh, this really takes the cake. This takes the cake. He added that due to the agreement, the counter blasphemy wing would be established under the authority of the country's federal investigation agency. So they're going to have a counter blasphemy wing basically within their country's version of the FBI for the first time, ensuring speedy trials for blasphemy suspects. He also said that the government is taking steps to block blasphemous content on Pakistani social media. You know, the TLP leaders, once accused of violating the Anti-Terrorism Act, will have their names cleared and will have freedom of movement. And basically, they also removed any previous designation of the TLP as a militant or terrorist organization.
I don't. I try not to express how, because I want to be honest about what I think, but I also don't want to crush hope. But when it comes to Pakistan, I don't know how to do both of these at the same time, because I am not at all optimistic about Pakistan's near future. Like, because people don't understand that, because how bad Pakistan is, they can't imagine it getting worse. But it's getting so much worse, and it's quickly moving into a direction where I can't even begin to express. The mix of religious extremism and poverty is such a dangerous mix, and Pakistan is heading towards poverty fast, and at the same time it has religious extremism. It's such a these two things together is such a toxic mix. and it's taking over. It's I don't know. It's not an exaggeration to say that Pakistan is heading towards being a failed state. I know it might seem like an exaggeration, but it's not. It
It's
does
not.
seem that it's possible. And guys, we're talking about a country with nukes, failed states, and nukes next to each other it's something that needs to scare the entire planet. I don't know if people are scared enough about what's they need to be more like people need to be more alarmed globally about what's happening. I don't know if people understand that if Pakistan falls, the level of extremism that would just spread from there all over the world. Like, if people think that they're not going to be affected by this, I mean, even without the nukes that Pakistan has, you have to understand that when Syria fell, you saw what happened. You saw the refugees, and you saw what ISIS and everything. Pakistan is going to be that times 100.
The population is much bigger.
Yeah, and it's right next to Afghanistan. And
Mm-hmm.
you have cross border, like you have safe havens that you could cross borders, come in, come out, do operations. And you're next to Iran, you're next to India, you're next to you're close to China, and it's horrible. It's disastrous. It's going to destabilize that entire region. The whole world is going to feel it. So I encourage more people to follow what's happening in Pakistan more closely because it's devastating. And again, to the atheists and secular activists in Pakistan, I don't know what to tell you guys. I salute you. I don't know why some of you are still active. I wouldn't be, but again, you guys are at the front lines, and just stay safe. I don't know what to say. This is like it seems like for secular activists, it's just the worst place to be. Like,
Well,
there's
now
no.
you're going to get
Can you?
accused of terrorism. Terrorism.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
I mean, can you
go ahead.
imagine a worse place? Can you imagine a worse place right now?
In what context? In what sense? Because in certain
In
senses, yeah, I
sake?
could remember a worse place. Like I
No,
could be
not
living in North
remember. Like
Korea.
currently. No, no. When it comes to secular activism.
Oh God. I guess maybe Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Afghanistan at least doesn't have. No, no, no. It's Pakistan because Afghanistan doesn't have the security operations and the
Mm-hmm.
know-how to
Mm-hmm.
tie. The intelligence operations in Pakistan is strong enough to be able to find you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go on. You were saying something.
Man, I mean,
Okay,
it's it's
oxymoron. Look at this. You're not listening. I'm not saying there are not more. I'm not saying it's the worst place to be. Obviously, there are worse places. You guys don't pay attention to what I'm saying. Go on.
um it it's tough because I know if you look at sociological and socioeconomic studies and history, that that you can't separate the two. The Pakistan's hyperinflation, in the political chaos that they're having, and all that instability is going to result in deepening fundamentalism, right? We just know this because of looking at historical fact and analysis. But then it makes me like so upset from a human level because I want my friends in Pakistan to have a prosperous life. Maybe they wouldn't be able to have the most free life, but at least they could have a little bit more prosperity. At least they could have a little bit more safety, a little bit more security when it comes to, putting food on the table, right? But even then, this is the focus. This is the focus. Like, wasn't almost half the country underwater last year? Flooded, devastated, billions of dollars worth of damage that like isn't going to come from anywhere. Like and this is what government resources are being put towards establishing a counter blasphemy wing of their federal investigation agency, being put towards ensuring speedy trials for blasphemy suspects. This is really what we need to be spending our time and effort on. when their children freaking starving to death and getting cholera, across the country. Like, that just pisses me off on a completely different level, right? Like, even taking my own activism or feelings about secularism out of it, it's like it's a matter of priorities, right? As a human, like, where are your priorities? But I also know that this is par for the course when there's this much material instability. I don't, yeah. Oh, you're muted.
So Young Atheist is one of our regular viewers, and he's in Pakistan himself, and he's asking Susanna and Armin, what should we do? I mean, can I don't know if this is a lot. I think I don't know if people are gonna like what I'm gonna say. I think the best advice is to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, which a lot of people don't like somebody saying that because they think like you should stay back and fix the problem. But I think like it might be too late. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think like
Well, also, how much can one
if
individual do?
yeah, get out of there. Do whatever you can. Focus your entire time and energy into figuring a way out of there.
Even if it takes years. I know people that
Yeah.
worked years, almost 10 years to get out of where they are, but they did it.
Mm.
But they did it. They were determined and they fought for their life. And those
Yeah.
people are my heroes. And that's the thing. Like, people ask me, like, who are my heroes? Like, our Atheist Republic members are my heroes because they fought for their lives no matter how long it took. And maybe if you
Yeah.
can't leave right away, like, slowly work yourself up to, like, moving to a little better city, like maybe a more like relatively liberal neighborhood. There's like things you can do over time if you're lucky enough and are strategic to slowly improve, your life. Move to like a better area if you can. But yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And if
not to minimize how difficult that is, right? We definitely know how difficult that is.
yeah, okay, so if you cannot get out, stay low. If you can get out. And if you think like you have betrayed your country or stuff like that, I don't know, just when you're out, go get a job and use some of that money to donate to something that helps out. Or I don't know, like when you're in a safe place, start doing up some activism. Something you don't have to be in a country to try to do something that make you probably you might actually be able to do more outside of the country because now you're safe. You could actually say the things that you want to do, the things that you want. But if you can't get out, try to get yourself financially independent and maybe look into becoming financially independent some in a way that is not tied to a certain location so that you become
Mm-hmm.
mobile. So if you get at some point you get to a point that you could leave, you could get the skills that that will make you mobile and financially secure at the same time. That's my
Mm-hmm.
recommendation. But again, every person's situation is completely different, so you have to what I'm saying might not apply to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Tesla is saying, like me, I'm a vet. Yes, Tesla is one of these people in our community that is one of my heroes because he has fought long and hard and he's still fighting to build a good
Cool.
life for himself. This guy's a freaking badass.
Wait, is this we forgot in previous news, remind me, because D goes and finds comments on social media, so we should
Oh,
read
that's
them.
right.
Okay, guys, remind us in the chat if we forget to read because she goes and finds the best comments, and we need to make sure that we highlight them. Okay, so here, you want to read them?
Yes, this was a comment on a news site that was posting this on Twitter and saying all they can do is go so low in every action and thought. Yeah, this is going pretty low.
This is
And yeah, and someone else commented on this news saying becoming some kind of fetish now for the country.
Yeah,
That's a
blasphemy
good
cases.
way
Yeah.
of putting it. No, it's not just a blasphemy fetish, it's a fetish for the prophet. It's a fetish for the prophet's honor.
Ooh. Do you have a Muhammad fetish?
Ooh, I'm gonna be thinking about this.
Interesting.
Ooh, I'm gonna be developing some thoughts around this. This is actually a very interesting way to frame it. Ooh,
See,
guys. Ooh,
this
this
is
just
why we
that
need to
got
remember to
that
read
got the wheels
these
turning. Yeah. This is why
guys.
Dee is the best editor we have on Atheist Republic. Everyone say thank you, Dee. She does amazing work for us.